What if I told you there's only one skill you absolutely need to become fluent in English, the single most important key to unlocking everything else? Forget scattered efforts on grammar, vocabulary, or pronunciation. Imagine a straight path to understanding, speaking, and truly mastering English, all by focusing your energy on this one incredible power. Get ready to revolutionize your learning, because I'm about to reveal the ultimate secret weapon that will change your English journey forever. Welcome to English Journey, the channel dedicated to helping you grow personally while mastering English. I'm Celine, and here we release new videos every day to help English learners like you improve your English and change your life. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that could completely change your perspective on language learning. Before we jump in, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to English Journey so you don't miss out on more life-changing English tips. In this video, we'll uncover why listening is the ultimate superpower, how to make it work for you, and I'll even share a quick quiz at the end to test your newfound knowledge. So get ready to take notes, because what you're about to learn is pure gold. Listening is the only skill you need to become fluent. When I first started learning English, I was completely overwhelmed. I tried to master everything: vocabulary, pronunciation, reading, and listening. Does that sound familiar? Looking back, I wish I had focused on just one skill, the one that makes everything else easier. And the truth is, most language learners don't spend enough time on the skill, and that skill is listening. The foundational skill. Why is listening so important? It's the foundational skill upon which all other language skills build. A common problem I see is that many people think learning a language has to be difficult. They believe if you're not struggling, you're not improving. But that's simply not true. Yes, pronunciation, memorization skills, and vocabulary are all important. However, there's one core, fundamental skill we truly need to develop when learning a new language: listening. There's a big debate online about the most important skill to master, with speaking and listening being the two most common answers. But in my personal experience, from learning English to Chinese in college, and now Spanish, listening has always been the most important skill for me. And it's not just my opinion, it's backed by research and even famous polyglots like Steve Kaufman. He states, "I believe that listening comprehension, not speaking, is the most important skill in language learning. If you can achieve a high level in comprehension, all other skills will follow. Speaking will come, grammar and correct usage will come." This is crucial for us as busy language learners. We have work, family, responsibilities, and hobbies. For me, language learning isn't my only hobby. I love learning Spanish, but I don't want to study it 10 hours a day. That's just not realistic. I don't have that much time. I want to focus on a skill that will translate to all my other language skills. That's why, every time I practice my languages, I focus on listening comprehension. When you listen to material you mostly understand, that's just a little bit challenging, and that you're genuinely interested in, magic happens. Your pronunciation improves because you're hearing native speakers. You start repeating phrases, noticing grammar patterns, memorizing new vocabulary, and practicing what you already know. Listening is the skill I always prioritize. Active versus passive listening, the game changer. Now, you might be thinking, I listen all the time. Why isn't my English improving? This brings us to a crucial distinction: active listening versus passive listening. Passive listening is when you're technically hearing sounds, but they're tuned out, on autopilot, not mentally engaged. As a speaker, it's incredibly dissatisfying when people aren't paying attention. You wonder why you're even talking. But active listening? It looks, sounds, and feels obvious. Active listening means listening completely. And there are 2 secrets to doing it well. 1. Commitment. You have to choose to listen. Put aside distractions and make listening a real priority. Good listening is first and foremost a choice you make every time somebody speaks. 2. Practice. Like any skill, you have to work at it. The good news is, listening isn't mysterious or complicated. So, how do you become an active listener in your English journey? For qualities of active listening for English learners. 1. Nonverbal communication. This has 2 parts. Demonstrate engagement. Put your devices away, make eye contact, and have open body posture towards the speaker. This shows you're engaged. Notice nonverbal cues. Listen with your eyes. Pay attention to the speaker's mood or emotion. Do they look nervous, frustrated, or annoyed? You can pick up on that by actively observing their nonverbal communication. For English learners, this means paying attention to body language in videos, movies, or when speaking with native speakers. 2. Verbal communication. Again, 2 sides. Ask good questions. Successful communicators ask thoughtful questions and then let the speaker fully answer. Think of a good mental health therapist who asks questions and then stops talking to let the client speak. For you, this means asking clarifying questions in English if you don't understand something or open-ended questions to encourage more speaking. Small utterances. These are the little sounds or words that show you're following along. I hear you. Yeah, that makes sense. These keep you engaged and show the other person you're following. 3. Respond to what was said. The pattern is, you ask a question, they respond, and then you give an informed response. If someone tells you they've been diving lately, you could say, "Wow, that sounds like an exciting sport." Or ask a follow-up. How did you first get into that? The key is to respond to their topic, showing you are actively following and interested. You don't want to just stare blankly. 4. Keep the focus on them. When you enter listening mode, decide it's all about the other person talking, not you. Resist the temptation to jump in with your own story or change the subject. Keep your talking turns and questions concise and stick to their topic. This allows them to do plenty of talking, and later, there will be an opportunity for you to share your experiences. My rule of thumb: dedicate at least the first half of the conversation to pure active listening. Beyond conversations, how to improve listening skills in your daily English journey. Okay, so we've established why listening is crucial and what active listening looks like in conversations. Now, let's talk about practical strategies you can implement right now to supercharge your listening skills for English fluency. Steve Kaufman, a renowned polyglot, emphasizes that while input, listening, and reading are the keys to learning a language, listening gets your brain used to the language. And if you can't understand what someone is saying, having a meaningful conversation is very uncomfortable. Here's how you can develop your listening skills. Combine listening with reading. This is a powerful technique. I love reading books, and to stay focused, I often listen to an audiobook at the same time. If the language is too difficult or the words are new, listening helps with pronunciation and keeps boredom at bay. You can use an iPad or phone to read the text while the audiobook plays. This ensures you understand all the words and don't lose your train of thought, especially with complicated material. Steve Kaufman also highlights that you can listen to something, then read it, look up words, review them, read it again, and then listen again. Even if you don't fully understand at first, with repetition, it becomes more comprehensible. Record audio messages and listen to them. This is a unique and effective method. Need to remember a grammar rule or new vocabulary? You can just record like a voice note of yourself going through all of this vocabulary or maybe this grammar rule. Then, when you're commuting, washing the dishes, mopping the floors, or vacuuming the floors, you can listen to your own podcast. This is especially great for preparing for tests or memorizing specific information. You can record yourself talking about anything, how you've been feeling, words you're trying to memorize, and use it as your personal podcast to listen to repeatedly. Create fake interview clips. Pretend you're a guest on a podcast and being interviewed in English. Someone might ask, "Tell us about your daily routine," or "Describe your dream vacation." You can even use AI tools like ChatGPT to generate questions. Record your answers and then listen back. This helps improve both listening and speaking, as you'll notice your mistakes and clunky phrases, which is completely normal. The goal is to become an active listener to your own speech. Do weekly recaps. Record yourself every Sunday for about a minute, recapping what you learned that week. Include 3 words or phrases you want to remember, but instead of just listing them, create sentences and context around them. This way, when you listen, you hear the words in context. Also, talk about how you felt using the language that week, any challenges you faced, or if you practiced at all. Choose content you like and mostly understand. This is perhaps the most crucial tip. If a YouTube video is so complicated that you cannot understand anything, maybe just a few words, you're not there yet, and that's perfectly fine. You can save it as a goal and revisit it later to check your progress. Language learning shouldn't feel hard to be effective. It should feel easy so you can sustain interest and curiosity. To find content, ask yourself, what are my hobbies? What am I interested in? Then, search for that type of content in English on YouTube. As you watch, assess if you like it, if it's too difficult, and if you can understand most of it. Pause, write down new words, and save them. Be intentional about your language learning. Embrace imperfection. It's impossible to focus 100% while listening. Your mind will wander, and that's okay as long as you come back to it. Even if you're only focused for half the time, you're still exposing your brain to the language. Repetition and novelty. Don't listen to the same lesson over and over again at one sitting. The brain needs both repetition and novelty. Listen to an item a few times, then move on to the next, even if you don't fully understand the first. It's all about exposure and helping your brain get used to the language. After a while, listening to the same thing repeatedly yields diminishing returns. Keep challenging yourself with new material, but allow enough repetition to notice things you didn't before. You might suddenly notice a structure or verb form you hadn't picked up on after many listens. Listen while doing other things. Listening has the tremendous advantage that we can do it wherever we are. While exercising, making breakfast, driving, cleaning, these are all opportunities to listen. Steve Kaufman calls this dead time that can be used for learning. This means you're constantly exposing your brain to the language without needing dedicated study time. The power of stories. Throughout history, people relied on spoken stories for entertainment and information. Think of ancient epics like the Odyssey or the Ramayana. These stories were told and listened to repeatedly, each time offering new insights. Listening evokes subjects in a way videos sometimes can't, allowing your imagination to fill in the details. Podcasts and audiobooks have proliferated, making this rich world of storytelling easily accessible. The profound impact of listening. William Ury, a renowned negotiator, emphasizes that listening is the missing half of communication. We live in an age of communication with endless talking, but how much real listening is happening amidst all the interruptions and distractions. He shares a powerful story about mediating between President Hugo Chavez and the political opposition in Venezuela during a time of intense conflict. When Chavez shouted at him for 30 minutes, Yuri simply listened, giving his full attention and nodding. After a while, Chavez's shoulders sagged, and he asked, "So, Yuri, what should I do?" This was the sound of a human mind opening to listen. Because Yuri listened, Chavez was more ready to listen to him, leading to a proposal for a truce that brought relief to the country. This story illustrates 3 vital reasons why listening is so important. 1. Understanding the other side. To influence someone or change their mind, you need to understand their perspective. Listening is key to this understanding. 2. Building connection and trust. Listening connects us with other human beings, builds rapport, and shows we care. Everyone wants to be heard. 3. Making others listen to us. As with President Chavez, when you listen to someone, they are much more likely to listen to you. Listening is the cheapest concession we can make in a negotiation. It costs nothing but brings huge benefits. It's the golden key that opens the door to human relationship. Genuine listening isn't just about hearing words. It's about understanding what's not being said, what's behind the words. The underlying emotions, feelings, and needs. It's about putting yourself in their shoes and tuning into their wavelength. It's about listening for what that person really needs or wants. Yuri recounts another story of helping a Brazilian entrepreneur, Abilio Diniz, resolve a massive legal dispute. After listening to Diniz's story, Yuri asked, "What do you really want?" Diniz listed tangible things like stock price and company headquarters. But Yuri listened deeper and asked, "What are these things really going to give you? What do you most want in your life?" Diniz paused and finally said, "Freedom. I want my freedom. I want to be free to pursue my business dreams. I want to be free to spend time with my family." Once Diniz's deepest need was clear, the negotiation became much easier, leading to a highly satisfactory settlement in just 4 days. This happened through the simple power of listening. Overcoming the challenge, listening to yourself first. If listening is so powerful, why isn't everyone doing it? It's not easy. The biggest obstacle is the noise and distraction in our own minds, which leaves no mental and emotional space to truly listen to others. The secret? To listen to others, you must first learn to listen to yourself. Before engaging in important conversations, take a few moments of quiet to tune in and listen to your own thoughts and emotions. By noticing and acknowledging them, you can let them go, creating space to genuinely listen to others. Imagine a listening revolution, transforming this age of communication into an age of listening, an age of true communication. What if every child learned to listen in school as a core skill, just like reading? What if parents truly listened to their children, teaching them empathy and showing them they matter? What if leaders were chosen for their ability to listen, not just talk? And what if listening became the norm in our organizations? Listening can be a chain reaction. When someone feels genuinely listened to, they are inspired to listen to the next person. It's contagious. The gift of being heard is one of the biggest gifts you can give anyone. Recap and takeaways. Here are the key takeaways from today's discussion. Asterisk listening is the foundational skill. It makes all other language skills easier to acquire. Asterisk active listening is key. It requires commitment, practice, and involves nonverbal cues, verbal engagement, informed responses, and keeping the focus on the speaker. Asterisk integrate listening daily. Combine listening with reading, record yourself, create fake interviews, do weekly recaps, and choose content you genuinely enjoy and can mostly understand. Asterisk, embrace imperfection. Don't worry about losing focus or not understanding every word. Consistent exposure matters. Asterisk, balance repetition and novelty. Listen to content multiple times, but also move on to new material to keep your brain engaged. Asterisk, the power of stories. Leverage audiobooks and podcasts to immerse yourself in narratives, enhancing imagination and comprehension. Asterisk, listen to yourself first. Clear your mind by paying attention to your own thoughts and feelings before listening to others, creating mental space for genuine connection. Asterisk, listening transforms relationships. It builds understanding, connection, and trust, making others more likely to listen to you. Quiz. All right, time for a quick quiz to see how well you were listening. No multiple choice here, just think about the answers. Question 1. According to this video, what is the one skill that makes all other language skills easier? Question 2. What are the 2 prerequisites for active listening? Question 3. Name one practical strategy you can use today to improve your English listening skills. Question 4. Why is it important to listen to yourself first before listening to others? Share your answers in the comments below. I'd love to see what you learned. Remember, your journey to English fluency doesn't have to be a struggle. By making listening your priority and embracing active listening, you'll unlock a powerful, enjoyable, and sustainable path to mastery. You have the power to transform your English and your life, one listen at a time. Keep practicing, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.